How's it going, guys and gals? My name is Beckett and welcome back to another Beckett Reacts video. Today's Beckett Reacts video, we are back with Jubilee and back with Middle Ground. But before I get onto that, you may notice it's a bit of a change. The camera angle is different, again. It is back where it used to be, back in the only days when I had, well, when it was looking over a monitor. Yes, I have got myself a third monitor now. Which is situated where the camera would normally be, and so now I've had to elevate it back up to where it used to be. It's weird after going back to this after so long, but oh well, we're here. This is what's happening, and well, yeah. But anyway, on to today's video. Today's video is something that I saw and thought it was interesting, and so I give it a watch, like I do with most of these videos. And that video is mothers versus daughters. Is marriage necessary? Now, when I think about this whole thing about marriage being necessary, I'd say it's not. I'd say before like the turn of the millennium, before the 21st century, the new century we're in. So like before the year 2000, I'd say that religion was a very important thing back in the day. And obviously, as part of religion is, you know, the marriage, like the coming together in the faith and becoming one, and sort of like becoming one in the eyes of God and that sort of stuff. That's the way I see it. Don't like I'm not saying that as fact. I'm saying that as how I see it and how I understand it. Don't slander me for that, okay? This is a Jubilee reaction video we're doing after all, because those times were very religion was quite a big force in life and everything, and people thought a lot like it was just a standard of life back then. And from what I've heard and understood, it's sort of a thing that just was the norm. You go through childhood, you learn about stuff, then when you go through childhood, you'd grow up into an adult, and then you'd find a man and get married and stuff, and then have kids and everything else. That was just, you know, and then those kids would continue on the legacy and continue on cycling that and so on and so forth. Now, in some ways, it's just I think okay, now it's just not come to me. I think what I'm saying here is it's a lot more nowadays, like it's a lot more free. There's a lot more freedom. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot more freedom nowadays. You're not confounded to anything. It's a thing of you live your life the way you want to. And I'm not saying that wasn't the case, but beforehand, I'm not saying that. It's just that, like I said, beforehand there was the expectation that, you know, you would get married with someone and then have kids and follow the continual legacy. Nowadays, there's not that much of a thing. If you don't want to have kids, you don't have to have kids. If you don't want to get married, you don't have to get married. And so, with this newfound freedom, people I've started to like just do different things, and they realize that because to some people, from what I've heard, to some people, marriage is just like a piece of paper which is like a bit of documentation. That's all it is, and that you can still be with someone and love them and love them than anything else in the world, and not marry them and still live with them for the rest of your life. Others, it's not just a piece of paper, but I think I'd say it isn't necessary, just because I've been brought up in that way of just being told that you should find your own way in life, and you should like identify what it is you want to do and do what it is you enjoy. Because there's also the thing of people. I'm gonna maybe do this because I know what it is sort of. I'm not too sure. Oh, so that's why. Obviously nowadays there's a thing of civil partnerships. I've just learned why they were invented now, and it makes a lot of sense. But obviously the civil partnership, which doesn't have that, I'm gonna word it with that religious background to it. That's the case. I know why it's that's the way I see it based on what I've now read. But yeah. So, bloody hell. Jesus Christ. Oh, this video might have to be edited. That might have to be edited down completely, because I'm looking at the other time it says on the phone just there. This is the 21-minute video, and I've just rambled about basically this whole thing for 15 fucking minutes. Oh my god. Jesus. Anyway, so depending on what happens there, I hope you understand it. And if you do, awesome. Let's get on to the video, shall we?
Very important for you. It takes time, but I still hope you can get married before 30 years old.
That's not happening.
All around the world, women face pressure from society and even their own families to live a certain way and fit specific expectations. Whether it's marriage or career-related, it seems everyone has a thought on how we ought to live. We partnered with SK2, a global skincare brand that continues to empower women to take control and shape their own destiny as part of their global Change Destiny campaign. Together, we explore the pressures women feel to conform to a certain timeline by inviting mothers and daughters to discuss these very real issues in their own lives. Enjoy the episode and be sure to stick around to the end for more info to share.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jewel. I'm Africa's mom, mom of 5, and I'm an educator.
My name is Anne Marie. I have 5 children and I'm a housewife.
My name is Cindy. I have 2 daughters. One is Cassandra here, and I'm a housewife.
I'm Chelsea. I am a travel blogger and a teacher.
My name is Africa. I am a songwriter and a dancer.
My name is Cassandra. I am a social media influencer, dancer, and gamer.
And I have my mothers to the left and my daughters to the right. I think marriage is an old-fashioned institution.
It's definitely... Okay. It's definitely old-fashioned, but I wouldn't say it's that it's outdated. 'Cause obviously, like I said, from what I've like learned from what I've taken in over the years, like I believe that from what I understand is that marriage is a part of like Christianity and stuff. Like you're being conjoined together in unity in the Lord and stuff. So obviously, and as religion is still a big part, it's still quite a big part of certain cultures today. Obviously, it does mean it's still relevant. So I wouldn't say I would say it's an old-fashioned ideal. But it's an old-fashioned method and idea, but it's not outdated. It's still relevant. But it is quite an old-fashioned thing, but yeah.
I do believe that marriage is an old-fashioned institution. That doesn't mean that it's not important or that it's not relevant, but I feel like it is dated and it is transferred to something different.
I would definitely feel like the reasons for marriage are much different now than it was before. I don't believe that it is a requirement in life as much.
For me, it's like the history of marriage started with women literally being sold as if they were property, and that's archaic, and I just don't agree with that as a concept. But at the same time, I'm a romantic, and I believe in love, and I believe that if you love someone, you should be allowed to marry them, if that's what you want.
Can I have my disabilities come forward?
My husband and I, when we got married, we just love each other, and very naturally. So we don't have any other concern about do we have enough money or do we have any other things. We just very pure, yeah.
Personally, I love you, Mom, but I would not do what you did. I would not do that. If I'm correct, Mom, you got married at 25, and I believe you dated Dad for 6 months.
Yes.
Right before that marriage. I personally fully believe that before marriage you should be living with that person, because living with someone I feel like is different than just dating them.
But I don't know. That whole, we're not gonna live together for 2 years and you ain't put, you could die tomorrow and I'll just be sitting here with this rent. Like there's some assurities in marriage. If you want me, you gotta put up the cost to pay the boss, period.
I think you ladies, think that you're gonna move in with your spouse, right? And then that first year is gonna be bliss if it's the right one. That's not the case. So you move in with someone 6 months, oh, we're not compatible. Well, you might have been. If you're married, you're committed to working through life together. I mean, Chelsea, I don't know if are you living with your boyfriend?
I am, and that's something that I guess for me is a little bit of a frustration because we've been together for almost 4 years. I can tell that, my siblings that are married and have a kid on the way, or my friends that have kids and are married, it's their lives and their relationships are taken more seriously than mine is. We are just as committed. You know, we're monogamous, we care about each other, it's a partnership. And I just get frustrated that because we're not married, that means that we're just dating, it's like frivolous, you know what I mean? Which it's not. My mom's expectations and goals for me, she wants me to get married and have kids because she thinks that will make me feel fulfilled and happy. Right now, I live with my long-term boyfriend. We don't know if we will ever get married or have children. We're focusing on our careers. My passion is traveling and seeing new cultures. That's what makes me happy and brings me joy, and that's what I'm focusing on right now.
I have felt pressured by my parents to get married.
No. Like I said again, I don't believe that. I don't think I ever have. No, I don't think I ever have. They've always, my mum and dad have always been on the, been on the thing of let me go through life and then finding out what it is I enjoy and what I want in out of life and stuff. So yeah, I don't think I ever have.
My parents are, they're kind of wishy-washy. They respect a little bit of my wanting to delay my marriage, but on my boyfriend's side of things, his mom, you know, we've been living together for a long time and she didn't really know about it. I think she kind of did, but she wasn't gonna think about it. She's been calling my boyfriend, and every time she's like, okay, you need to propose. You need to get married, you're living together, it's time, it's happening.
I recently separated from my boyfriend, and my dad freaked out. He literally was texting me like, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't gamble, he doesn't drink, he doesn't womanize, he works hard. Like, what more do you want?
I didn't know you have the pressure of marriage until now. I feel bad. The husband is very important for you. It takes time to know this person. So I really don't want to give you any pressure, but I still hope you can get married before 30 years old.
I love you very much, but that's not happening.
I think my mom was the opposite. From the time I was really little, she was working full time. She was never available. I had a friend who I'd go to her house and her mom was there all cute with her cookies, right? And it's like, I want that life. And it was always get married late and you better continue working in a high-powered job and pay your own bills, because if your husband leaves you, I guess I just bounced and just did the absolute opposite. You know, I did get my degree, but then I was married at 23.
I think it's difficult because I think we're one of the first generations of when like divorce was common. Like I remember growing up in elementary school, it would be like 75% of the class had parents that were divorced or split up. So I think we're a lot more, you know, nervous. We have a lot more trepidation. We really want to be sure.
I mean, I get everything that you guys are saying, and I understand it. I know what it's like to be in a marriage when you or yourself are not fulfilled, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. The only challenge, if you're constantly like, okay, well, this is great, and this was 2 years, and the next one will be great, and that was 3 years, when do you say, okay, right here is where I'm going to build?
But at the same time, I mean, again, we're not saying date 100 people. I know for me personally, whenever I'm actually entering into a new relationship, I do believe this is going to be the last one. Again, you don't know people 100% until you've dated them, until you've taken that time. Time can't be rushed. My current plan for the future is to establish my career. I'm highly interested in a professional career in songwriting. I don't have any plans for marriage or kids. Being who I want to be, you know, living where I want to live, all those things are important for me right now.
By the time I was her age, I had 3 kids, and I was a mom. I think womanhood is very powerful. We literally give life to the world.
I would consider not getting married before having children.
I have, and at this current moment in time, I don't know married, but the latter one, definitely no. Like I said, I mean, I don't know when it came out, but in one of the last Jubilees I recorded, I said that I'm not good with kids. I don't know how to. For some people, I know that interacting with children just comes naturally to them. It doesn't to me. I don't have that ability to do that. I don't know how to act around them. I get very nervous when I'm around them. And so just like, and also is just the fact of, I haven't yet properly... There's still a lot of myself that I need to figure out. Well, not figure out, but deal with. I'm not much responsible of people ever. There's a lot of basic, adult life lessons and things I need to do and get grips of and accomplish first before I actually even consider having kids. And so, yeah, no. So at the moment, the former, I don't know, maybe. Possibly Monday. I do need to get a girlfriend first, though. The latter, definitely at the moment. Not in the books at the moment.
Have you ever noticed that I don't know, but I have definitely asked a significant other here or there, or maybe even just a guy friend, like, hey, do you want kids? You know, and they're also like taken aback, like, I've never been asked that before. Whoa, you know? And for women, I feel like it's almost expected, like, you should have a plan.
That's the perception we're given, especially as women, is like, you need to be married in order to be happy. You need to have kids in order to be happy. Or like,
again, it's that pre-2000s thing of it's just the norm. You got married, you had kids. It was just the standard thing that happened. That's where that's where that comes from, I think.
for your life to mean anything.
Which is not true. I have an aunt who is unmarried and did not have kids, and she has a long-term partner that she lives with, and they travel all the time. They can afford to do what they want, and they're happy, and they're living a good life. Right.
I made the conscious decision about 3 months ago maybe to get like tubal ligation and basically just like tubes tied, because I don't know, I'm just tired of this whole back and forth, like, oh, you gotta take this birth control and whatever, and like a lot of them don't work for me. When I talk to the doctors, of course it's their job to like ask you all these questions, are you sure, blah blah blah, and like, but it's so interesting, they make you sign the paper but they make you wait 30 days again just in case you change your mind.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because like it's a big life choice, and the way life happens, you might 1 minute be happy with the decision you made, and the next minute might be like that. My stance is completely different. So I understand that because life throws you so many curveballs, and like I just said, 1 minute you can think one thing, and the next it might be completely different. So that makes sense.
Decision I made personally because it's just not what I want. I just don't want kids. I never have.
I think it's so funny because I think you guys are like breaking their hearts. Because Africa, when you said that did you get the tubal ligation?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you already did it. I'm like getting teary.
Yeah, she was over there
honestly.
like, yeah.
And I don't know why, I'm sorry, but it's like, what do you know when you're 25?
I'm 26.
26. I'm just saying, I have friends who made it to like 39 or 40, never wanted kids, and then changed their mind. I think it's one of the most amazing things about being a woman is actually carrying a life inside you, you know, and I know you disagree with me.
How do you young people feel when you hear her saying she wants tubal ligation?
I was really surprised by that. I support you, absolutely. But that's definitely not what I would want for myself.
It's something I wouldn't do because I'm still very uncertain. It changes every day. So for you to have the courage to do it, I believe that you are all-knowing and that you really believe in it.
You know, we have 5 kids. My middle daughter is like the opposite of me. She's in an all-male business, high-powered job, and then I talked to her about kids and having a family, getting married, and she blows me off. I really try to hold back from being like pushing my opinions on people, but I do, you know, my daughter, I mean, like, you really need to have at least one child just to experience it.
Well, I didn't know if you did it or not, because I just had to let it just, at the end of the day, it's your body, it's your decision. I would never say you have to have a child. It was very disappointing and hurtful for me, though. I feel that having children and bringing life is like the most natural thing. Like,
so for me, my mom had me really young, and I watched her give up everything, you know, to be a mother and to raise me. And she was a single mom for a while. In a selfish way, part of me is like, I don't know if I can do that to the level that she did. And I feel bad because part of me is like, do I owe her a grandchild because of what she did for me? You know what I mean? Do I owe her that?
I think if you have a marriage and have a children, one day if you're really sick and parents are not here and someone can take care of you,
I agree, but I feel like there's so much more that I need to learn. And I'm just now learning, like it's scaring me how some people that I know who are getting married, don't know how to do their taxes. And everything's just kind of taken care of. And that can be a nice thing. But for me, I very much want to be able to take care of myself. But I also know myself, and I'm a very social person. If I am on my deathbed with whatever cancer it may be at that point, I feel like I would have no trouble having people who care about me surrounding me.
I got married when I was 25. Even though she has a lot of friends, I think the family is the most important.
I would love to have children in the future. I just don't know if that's like my top priority right now. It's a personal goal of mine to build my Chinese lion dance team and to pursue the endeavors that I've started.
Oh, bloody hell. I don't know. I don't know. I'm stumped on this one. I'm not too sure.
Am I the only one? It's embarrassing to admit, but it's just I just feel like I'm not like my husband, and the way we've set up our family has worked for us. You know what? I'm okay making him dinner every night. I'm okay for him, paying the bills. And, I was really okay having children. And, I think children do better when a mom is at home and she takes on that traditional role. But don't hate me, ladies.
We don't
hate
you whatsoever.
We love you. You're fine.
It's not a popular choice, right? No, it's not a popular thought.
But I think it's a spectrum, right? Because I definitely believe in letting a man be a man, but he can cook too. There's nothing wrong with that. Who really has the right to tell somebody this is what real?
I think it's most. The thing is, I know it's a very again. It's one of those outdated, old-fashioned roles. But if you enjoy it, if that's what if that's the way you operate, if you either like or don't, if you like or either don't mind fulfilling those roles, and then I'd say you do you. Like, if you like being the typical housewife of being at home, looking after the kids, doing all that stuff and doing the cooking stuff, and then do it. I don't think should be an issue. I think it's an issue when there's obviously a conflicting thought of the woman doesn't want to be, and the man thinks when the man thinks she is. I think that's when it starts to get a bit hairy, and conversations need to be had.
Womanhood is, or this is what real manhood is. Somebody could say, I wasn't a good mom for taking my kids down to the university twice a week because I needed to finish my master's. But I did that so that I could be a better mom to them.
My boyfriend and I have a pretty interesting situation. He's from a pretty traditional family, but I'm crazy independent. I'm like the financer of a lot of the relationship, and a lot of times he cooks. And we have that flipped, but we've made it work.
I'm on this whole thing right now where I separated from my boyfriend because I was like, I need to live on my own for a while, because I found myself changing within the relationship and losing my independence to the point where I felt like I couldn't do things.
When we first got married, we fell into those roles, and so my husband hasn't cooked dinner for us for like 28 years. I'm not up on our finances. He pays all the bills. I've given all that over to him in my early 20s. It's worked for us, so I don't know if it's a bad thing. You know what? If he wasn't supportive, I probably couldn't be that kind of wife, or couldn't do that, right? But I do struggle with guilt a little bit that I've kind of given that over to my husband all this time, and I've kind of gotten to a safe place. But maybe that's going to change.
Okay, girlfriend. Get your money, girl.
I got married at 23. A year and a half later, I was pregnant with my first of 5. I love having a big family. There's this built-in community and support for one another. My middle daughter is this beautiful girl, and she's so independent and all over the place, and traveling all over by herself. I want her to be safe. I want her to be happy. I'd love for her to get married. She met a wonderful man, and she seems really happy.
I am scared of disappointing my mother
Nope.
I am so scared, despite everything that I say. I'm so scared of disappointing you, Mom, and Dad. Oh, I already know I've disappointed Dad.
You didn't disappoint to us, actually. I knew you worked very, very hard. You really worked very hard.
Yeah.
So I think you have the talent for
Thanks,
for
Mom.
your dream.
I think for me, I've risked so much. I want my kids to know that risk is okay, that a calculated risk is okay. And so I can't fail, because I know they're looking at me. And if they have any dreams in their hearts and I give up on mine, how can I ever say something to them, you know?
Me personally, I guess I don't really think about it because both of my parents are probably the best role models for like, you do what you want to do. You know, like my dad, he loved trucks and trains since he was a kid, and so he became a truck driver. My mom, she discovered West African dance when she was 18, and so that's what she did. She became a dancer, and then people maybe thought they were crazy, but they did it anyway.
Of course, I'm a little scared of disappointing my mom, but I think overall, I think she's proud, and she knows, you know, that everything that I do is with good intent. And I think if I choose not to get married or have kids, I think that'll be another painful thing for her, but she'll understand because she loves me and she knows I'm doing what's best for me.
I think there is a part of Rachel, my middle daughter, that I know she doesn't want to disappoint me. She was engaged for a long time to a guy she met when she was 18, and it wasn't right. She wasn't happy. She wasn't glowing. She was so worried about disappointing me because I had already paid for the venue that she was going to go through with the wedding. So I took her for a walk on the beach, and I said, Rachel, I don't care. You could have the flowers in hand, in the white dress, ready to walk down the aisle, and you could say, Mommy, take me away. And I would put you in the car, and you wouldn't have to face anything at all. I think as moms, we just want the best for you guys. We just want you to be fulfilled and happy. And she doesn't want you to have any regrets in life. She doesn't want you to look back when you're our age and go, damn, I wish I had done it differently, or I wish I had made this decision. You know, make sure that you're doing what's going to be right for you, not just now, but for, 20 years from now.
I feel like the other side better understands my
You know, as a mom, we really love you guys. And no matter what you do, we love you, period. It's not about these rigid rules and regulations and you must this and the timeline and the ticking clock. It's about I love you no matter what.
It's a different world now. And so we can't expect you to be the same women that fall into the same roles that maybe I did when I was 22. It's opened my mind. So I'm very grateful for that. So thank you.
And it's good to hear from people's perspective, people who have gone the more traditional route of getting married and having kids, and to see you fulfilled, that's really great.
I think today it was nice to have an open and honest communication with some other mothers that I think my mom would agree with. So it was really nice to maybe hear the words that she would want to say to me, but she doesn't feel right saying to me, and I really appreciated hearing that, and it's helped me, I don't know, maybe rethink some things.
I definitely know that sometimes when my parents tell me something, I kind of blow it off. It's not that they'll never get it, but it's just we come from two completely different times. You know, the world is changing, we're all changing, we're always changing.
Probably I gave Cassandra a lot of pressure. I think so, yeah.
It's okay.
I didn't do that on purpose. I want to communicate with you more. I hope to know anything in your mind. And you can ask me anything you want to from now on. Okay?
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
What do you want for your daughter's future?
I just want to see her happy. I would want to see her just continue to know that those things that are in her heart are valid, are important, and that the world needs them and needs her.
The challenges that young women have today are very different. When I was younger, there was, a few paths that I could take. But now, women can do anything.
Me not being a mom myself, it's hard for me to realize the reasoning behind my mom's opinions. I know she only has my best interests in mind, and that's what she wants.
Despite the generation time gap, at the end of the day, we all have the same goals. We all want to feel fulfilled and live a happy life. We're just taking different paths to get there.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. This is a topic that's really close to our hearts, and it was an absolute privilege to have all these women come in and open their lives up to us and be a part of this discussion.
Absolutely, and we want to send a huge shout out to SK2. Thank you so much. They made this video possible and they were super supportive. So we highly recommend that you guys check out #Timelines. It's this awesome docu-series that SK2 did with Katie Couric. It explores the pressures put on women.
That was rather good, that was, I think. That was actually rather good. I had more to say about a lot of the topics than I thought I would. Which is interesting. That was good. It was good to see. It was nice to see for this sort of thing again, to see the two sides understand both points of view and realize why these decisions are made. But yeah, I don't really have any closing thoughts apart from what I just said. So I'm gonna leave this video there. So, on that note, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel, Sergeant Beckett. If you'd like to see more of me do other things in the other places, then please go to into the description and go to see the Linktree link in there. On there you will find those other places. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. I shall see you all in the next one. Adios.